Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of B Chat. I'm B. I believe this is episode 6, which is pretty dope. It feels like this actually is. I feel like I can do this pretty easily and consistently. I think that's one of the most important things whenever you are, starting a project or pursuing a project or something, is that you are able to at least get it going or at least produce your thing in a way that's not super inconvenient. Because there's so many roadblocks when you're first trying to accomplish something that any little thing can really honestly derail you, big or small. So the more convenient it is for you to just do your thing, the more likely you are to actually take it to a level that's really significant. But yeah, I just something I was getting happy about with this. So I mean, like I said, I literally do this on my iPhone, so I kind of want to keep it that way. I think it's just cool, grassroots, old school. But I was thinking about something today. It's a thing in my life that was really important. So I'm sure it can apply a lot of you guys listening right now. But it's this concept of like being exposed to stuff, exposure, experience. So I know a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, like you need to go do an internship or just go work places or get out there. And that's correct. That's definitely a start. But I myself literally would not have done anything like cool in terms of career or with my life if I didn't see the stuff that I saw from others doing dope stuff. So meaning that I think it's really important to literally see other people accomplishing the type of thing that you're trying to do in order to even have a chance or a hope of doing it. And one of the things that's really tricky about what I'm kind of talking about is we as human beings a lot of us, I talk about this a lot, but a lot of us tend to be fear-based just because of the way we were raised. And why that's important in this context is because you're going to notice bad shit way more than you notice good shit. It's kind of like if a band is playing, no one notices the drummer unless he fucks up. But if he's doing perfect, like stellar, everything's just normal. Everything sounds good, which is a kind of an interesting concept. Same thing when you're learning from people, or when you're working, or when you're looking at other people who are doing big things. A lot of people fail. Most people who are starting businesses, entrepreneurialism, projects, good chances that they're going to fail. That's for a variety of reasons. Maybe they didn't get it in it for the right reason. Maybe they rushed. Maybe they were in it for the money, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people I just see, they copy other people, which is not exactly what I'm talking about with learning from others and exposure. What I'm talking about, it's not the concept, oh, this person has developed a model that works, so I'm going to copy it. I'm just going to replace some variables and put my shit in, and then I'm going to be successful. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you know deep down that you have something there and you can probably do something big with it, it's very important for you to see somebody who's also done that, regardless of if it's related to what you want to do or not, because it just makes you, it gives you the permission, like your mind then gives you the permission that, okay, I can do this. Like if this person did it, and the closer you get to them and the more you learn about them, you'll realize like, oh, this is just a normal person. And it's not as simple as, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. You got to dig a little deeper and look at their journey and their path and kind of figure out how and why. And in my experience, most of those people will love to like tell you, unless they're just really busy, but they love talking about how, their journey and how they became successful. Most of them, it's not exactly, it's pretty much almost kind of an accident or kind of a series of events that happen, right? Timing's a huge thing with success. It's something that's kind of unmeasurable, but timing plays a big thing. But like I said, you'll notice bad things before you notice good things. And when you're out there trying to get exposure to people who are, grinding and trying to be successful, you're going to see a lot of people that aren't doing maybe things right, a lot of failures, a lot of frustration. And that can be very discouraging and scary. again, fear. But if you can try to operate off of not fear but love, and try to operate off of, more positivity, you'll be able to not let that stuff bug you. And eventually you're going to get a point to where you start to see, it's going to start to click on how this other person or thing is getting all this stuff accomplished. And that's going to help you get to the result of you accomplishing whatever you want to accomplish. I could give you an example of, like, for me personally, let's just say and this is actually true, I have a product on Amazon and it sells. And I literally remember wanting to sell something online like forever. Like ever since I was probably like in high school or something, I was like, man, that would be so dope just to like put something up online and somebody across the country clicks a button and they buy it. They buy my thing. Like, holy shit, that's crazy, right? That was always a very cool concept to me. I never even tried to even start that process until I found out a buddy of mine, a friend of a friend, was, I think he was selling something pretty, simple. Like now everyone's selling stuff on Amazon, but I basically found out that this guy who I knew had a buddy who was selling these like little business card holders. And long story short, my friend is not like, this person is not the most, like the sharpest tool in the shed, not to be mean, but, that started the process. So I was very fearful of the logistics of e-commerce and how do you like, what, you got to go on Amazon and like set up an account, and like how does like the billing work and how does the shipping work? And the thing is that nothing is really that complicated if you're not scared of it. It's like I've seen people literally freak out when they have to assemble something they buy from IKEA. And it's like, it's like a table or something. You can see two people, one who's calm and peaceful, they'll figure it out. They'll read the instructions. If they can't see the instructions, they'll look it up on YouTube or the internet. And even if it takes them longer, they'll figure it out, as opposed to the person who's like so stressed out because they're probably, I don't want to get too deep, but it's, again, it goes back to failure. If I can't set up this table, I'm scared that I'm a failure. And what does that say about me? I can't even set up a table from IKEA. What the heck? And then blah, and then they either throw it away or don't use it or get somebody else to do it. So with me, with the Amazon thing, is once it kind of hit that, hey, like he did it. And then of course I went online and I started looking up more information about it. And I saw, wow, there's a whole community that does this. And again, now it's super, everyone's doing it, but this was a little while ago. And, that basically started the process. And I can't even tell you like the gratification and happiness I got when the first one really sold. I remember I was like a grinder. So I had like a few people just buy it just so they could leave a review. So they weren't really like real sales, but the first like couple actual sales I got, like I was like, oh my God, like it's real. I did it. And that's actually a very key word, that it's real. It's not just so much of what I'm talking about right now in this episode has to do with being realistic. If you don't realize, if in your mind, in your perspective, if you don't see a realistic path to the thing that you're trying to accomplish, like you're fucked. It's probably never gonna happen. How do you start seeing what you want to do realistically? Now, there's not just one simple answer. That's why I try to make a bunch of episodes, hopefully. But one of those things is exposure and seeing somebody else who's literally doing it or has done it. This is a really common saying that like if you've had an idea or if you've had a thought that you want to about something you want to do, 1,000 people are either already doing it or have already done it. Now, again, if you go from a fear-based perspective, that may hold you back because you'll be like, oh, if they're already doing it or this many people failed, then I can't do it. And it's like, is that realistic? Like maybe, but it's like if you looked at it from a different angle, it's like, okay, cool. There's all these other people doing it, so I can do it too. That's super realistic. That's a game plan. It's like, okay, cool. What's step one? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to Google? What videos do I need to watch? Et cetera, et cetera. But I just remember how like it was like having handcuffs on or a blindfold on. I literally could not get myself to start that Amazon project because I just couldn't wrap my head around just all that lame logistical stuff that's actually pretty simple. But it's never going to happen for you. Anything you want to do, if you don't look at it from a realistic and peaceful and simple perspective. because that's how you make good decisions. That's how you trend in a good direction. But if you're looking at it from like a, oh my God, we need to make money, or oh my God, this has to work, or why isn't it's like that's the wrong thing. And if you put yourself out there, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see a lot of people fail. But the key again is kind of the theme of this episode is find somebody who's doing it correct. And you'll know, because it'll almost be like you found like something you're not supposed to find. And it'll be interesting because other people may even shit on the person or the business or the example that you find, like, oh yeah, you just got lucky, or oh yeah, you just picked the right time or whatever it may be. But what you got to do is focus on, okay, something's working here. This is making my brain click. I kind of want to do something similar. How is he or she getting this done? Where did they start? Where did they fuck up? Where did they go right? What are the things that I can control in my own journey compared to theirs? And what are the things that I can't? What are the things they actually did just get lucky on? But if I can focus on what I can control, there's a way higher chance that you're gonna hit what you want to hit in terms of results, or however you see yourself in 5-10 years. The biggest, I think, one of the biggest keys is you gotta find an example. It's like, if you don't have because then it's not going to be it's not going to be realistic to you. If you're like somebody who has lived in the same city their whole life and they've never left, there's probably people like that still. Just naturally, the way that we're raised, they're going to be fearful of, well, let me put it this way. They're going to think that people in other parts of the US or wherever country you're in, they're going to think that people in other cities are different than them. They're going to think that, oh, well, because they haven't been exposed to them. What does lack of exposure do? It makes you fearful, which then you're fucked. Because if you think that people in other cities, because actually that's one of the things that really clicked with me, is that when I traveled for my work, when I traveled to some different cities, it's like, man, we're doing the exact same messaging to this. Basically what I'm trying to say is that everyone's the same. This is the same people. If your thing works, whatever you're trying to do, if it's real, it's going to apply to everyone. And it may take time to get it there, but it should apply to everyone. Now, again, going back to the example of if somebody lived in the same city their whole life, they're not even going to have that concept. Now, they could still end up becoming successful. I think that's what happens. A lot of people, when they get success by accident, is they make something click in their hometown. For example, let's say somebody opens up a hamburger stand. They can make the best hamburgers and everyone loves them. They may feel that, oh, like only people in my town love my hamburger because they like the local meat. They like my vibe. They know me. But if that guy is a bomb hamburger maker, the right approach is to be like, hey, like, let me go into another town and open one up, or let me go test this out in a weekend for this festival or whatever. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start exposing yourself to the different people. And what does that do? That's going to teach you that, oh shit, my shit clicks everywhere. It works everywhere. Oh shit, maybe now I'm at the point where I need to take a loan, like a small business loan, and open another location, but carefully and all that. That's the right approach. A lot of people do that too soon or too late. The point is that the exposure will give you the realistic perspective on basically how you should think, I think, when it comes to accomplishing what you're trying to accomplish. So again, if you visit other towns, you're going to start to realize everybody's the same. Once you realize everybody's the same, it's going to give you more confidence to just hone your craft, because as long as your craft is good, it's going to work everywhere. That's just a kind of a random example. That's probably a pretty common one, but I don't know if you know anyone that just doesn't leave their place. It could be someone that doesn't even leave their home. Imagine how fearful they are of everything, as opposed to someone that's been around the world. And sit down with each one of them and have a conversation. Who's going to be more fearful and who's going to be more loving? Just, food for thought. This one's a little over 10 minutes. Try to keep these between 10 and 15 for now, until I get, maybe some more engagement, some questions, maybe have some friends on here or something. But yeah, this was 6th episode. I'm going to try to be more active on social media and get these going on, like some social media stuff, just to get some more reach out there eventually. But I want to get some good episodes built up before I do that, because that's just something I've learned is you got to have your stuff's got to click, and you got to have the right, you got to be at the right point before you start blowing it up. But just thinking about that a lot today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.